This is Dr. Evan Kangong. Today I want to talk to you about BMI, which is the body mass index. So this is a screening tool that we use in clinical practice, and it uses your height and weight to estimate body fat, and that's how obesity is classified. So normal is about 18.5 to about 24.5. Then by the time you start getting to 25 to 29, you're a little bit on the overweight side, and then more than 30 is obesity. And then we have obesity class 1, 2, and 3, and so on. And it all depends on how high the BMI is, above 30. So this is so flawed at times, because think of somebody who's really very tall, a bodybuilder. What do you think happens? Their weight is going to be up, and sometimes the weight might be up as a result of the muscle mass that they've built. So we cannot only look at obesity based on the BMI. A very important marker, a very important tool that we use is the waist circumference, which is by measuring the waist and to see somebody's risk of cardiovascular disease, because the more your waist circumference is above the normal threshold, the more you are at risk of cardiovascular disease. So because you have the visceral fat, which is the fat that just settles all around your stomach, and that can be detrimental to your health. So it's really important to take all this into perspective. And then now we're still focusing on that for eligibility for medications for obesity management treatment. People always talk about, when we talk about that, a lot of people only think about GLP-1, Ozempic, Wegovy. There's also Contrave. Those are just some of the examples. So the criteria is BMI of 27, more than 27, with at least two related obesity comorbidity, which means two different things that comes as a result of obesity. It can be high blood pressure, it can be diabetes, it can be sleep apnea, it can be depression, or a BMI more than 30. But remember, some people of certain ethnicity, like some people in the Asian population, their BMI cutoff for obesity is lower than the general population. And I've also seen in my practice certain ethnicities, like certain races, like black race, a lot of them have like high muscle build, and because of that their BMI can be also very high. So we always take BMI with a grain of salt. What's really important is to always check waist circumference, and it's as simple as just taking a tape, just measure it around your stomach, and from one end to the other, in between your upper thigh hip, and let's say by the edge of your sternum, which is like the edge of your hip. So you just go in between and then you measure that, and then that will tell you what the cutoff is. Usually 100 centimeters for men and about 88 for females. But so that's very important to keep an eye on that also, because the more visceral fat you have, the more you're at risk of cardiovascular disease and other complications. When you go for your health checkup, you usually will do the height, the weight, and then we'll do the BMI calculation. And if it's high, we usually will talk about controlling your weight. You might want to also ask your healthcare professional to do your waist circumference.